Hello, best friend, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Girl, if this is the first time you're watching my channel, my name is Sebastian, and I welcome you guys with open arms. This video is a little bit different. I spill tea every single day, but I just had to share this video with you guys because I found it to be the funniest thing. If you guys don't know, my mother and I, we're on a mother-son trip here in Puerto Vallarta. And it's a beautiful city. I'm gonna go into like all the details when I get back to LA. I'm thinking about doing a huge live and, answer all your questions, share videos, share pictures. I'm also doing a lot of videos for my members only, so that's coming up. As soon as I get to LA, I'm posting everything, so stay tuned for that. But listen, you guys, I had to share this story because I just found it to be so freaking funny. So there's a beautiful church here of the Virgin, La Virgen de Guadalupe. And it was it's a beautiful church. So my mom and I arrived here on Monday. And on Tuesday, we went to this church because I was here with my husband back in April. He surprised me for my birthday. But that day that we went to the church, I was severely hungover, so I could not enjoy it. So my mom and I went on Tuesday, and the guy selling rosaries and things outside asked us we said like we want to go to a mass. So he said, come Saturday, right? So today is Saturday, and my mom and I walk in, and it's a beautiful day. We see a little commotion outside of the church, and we're like, okay, girl, it's beautiful. It's Saturday. It's busy. They only have mass on Saturdays and Sundays. So there's a beautiful bride outside of the church, and I'm like, oh my God, Mom, look, there was just a wedding. And I say to her, felicidades, congratulations. And she goes, gracias. But she's in a really bad mood. And I'm like, okay, girl, bye. Not you looking crazy on your wedding day, bitch, okay? But I was at church, I was like, Dios mío. And then we walk in, we sit down, and girl, we sit down in the second row or third row. So we're sitting down, and we're like, oh, it's so beautiful. We're embracing the beauty, we're praying. My mom and I were holding hands, everything is beautiful. In walks the priest, bitch. Oh, not in walks the priest, right? And I'm like, oh, the priest. Girl, look what happened. Hang on. The bride and the groom with a mariachi band walk in. The bride, we crashed a wedding, bitch. We literally crashed a wedding. My mother and we're sitting in the third row. That's where family sits. That's where your aunt sits. That's where your cousins sit. Not two complete strangers who don't know who the hell these people are. And we're sitting there. Look at my mom's reaction. We are like, girl, what are we doing here? And there's mariachis. What did you think, Mom?
It was really strange. Because she was in a terrible mood.
She was. So yeah, their names were Antonia and David or something. Mm-hmm. But girl, she was pissed. There was babies crying. Her veil got tangled. The priest was stumbling in his words a little bit. Everyone kept looking back. There was so much commotion. And we were in the third row, so we could not stand up, because if we were to stand up, we would be those people we object, people would think that we were objecting. David, no te cases con ella. Don't get married, David. I don't know. So we're sitting there, and first of all, it's my first wedding ever. I've never been to a wedding before. This is my mom's third wedding. And we're sitting there, and we're I know, what a lovely dress, and Antonia and David. But girl, Antonia looked like she was about to beat every single person up in that damn church. She looked so mad. And there's this lady in the back with a crying baby. And the baby kept crying. And the echoes of that baby could have been in the damn chorus. He was hitting notes like Mariah Carey, bitch, okay? He was crying like there was no tomorrow. And I'm like, girl, step out of the church. And they're like, on their knees in front of, the altar. I mean, very pretty. I do have to say, I mean, it was really, really beautiful. They're on their knees right here in the altar and they're praying. The mass is going on. And the baby kept crying and crying and crying. And Antonia, my girl Antonia, she had to stop the wedding. Well, kind of tell her mother, which we didn't get her name.
No.
The mother to please go kick that lady out with the baby. And she did.
No, but the baby was about to get baptized.
Yeah, well then, we were not only crashing a wedding, we crashed a baptism. We crashed a kid's baptism. I didn't take any videos because I felt weird taking a video of a kid. But we crashed a baptism. My mother and I were like, oh, damn. We were there for 3 hours. We were there for 3 hours, girl. 3 hours in that church. And it was my first time ever seeing a baptism as well. But what really shocked me was that, like, we were the only ones, I think, that did not belong there. But then they should have had, like, someone at the door saying,
yeah, it's a wedding.
It's a wedding, pray later, So we were sitting there, and, really, we should have just gone to the reception afterwards.
But I have never seen mariachis in a church either.
Oh, yeah, the mariachis were wonderful. They were, it was beautiful when they did that Ave Maria song. I've never seen something like this before, and I had to share it with you guys because I thought it was so fun, and I thought, of course, it would happen to us.
But David and Antonia already has 3 kids.
Yes, David and Antonia had 3 very well-behaved kids, I do have to say.
And a baby that she was crying at the end.
Yeah,
crying at the end.
They were the Brady Bunch. They were the Brady Bunch, girl. They had 4 children, but they were the 3 little kids were so well behaved. They looked so cute with their little tuxes, very well behaved. I mean, for a 5-year-old child, they didn't have iPads, they didn't have cell phones. They were praying. They were paying attention. They know that Antonia does not play, bitch. That lady had an attitude problem. David got cussed the shit out after that wedding.
Yes.
Oh my God! And the weirdest part was there was a lady in front of us who was often turning around and telling people not to take pictures. So I want to know if you guys know anything about Mexican weddings or something. Is it like a taboo to take pictures?
No, because
is it bad luck?
Photographers.
There was 2 photographers, but every time someone in the family would take pictures, she would turn and she's like, no photos, no photos. So I'm wondering, what is that about? Maybe it's bad luck, maybe something in the culture that they don't believe. I wouldn't want people taking pictures in my wedding either, because I'm like, you're not putting an unedited, unflattering picture of me, okay? But I just had to share. I mean, it was just so fun. It was an adventure my mom and I had. We crashed a wedding, we crashed a baptism, and it was fun. Do you have anything you want to add?
I just can't get over the mariachis in a church.
They were so freaking talented. Their outfits were incredibly tight.
Yeah. Very good.
Very, 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 very wow.
And when he was playing the violin, that was beautiful.
Violin. We went and we did the communion. The cookie, what is it called?
Communion.
The communion was huge. It was this big, girl. It was like an Oreo cookie. It was big, right? Like usually they cut it.
Yeah.
But
it was very thick.
I felt it was so magical, yet it was so random. It was so funny. But I'm very grateful because it was like a first for my mom and I, and that's what this trip is about. It's like adventure and first and fun. And, to the lovely couple, since we couldn't make the reception, congratulations. Thank you for having us. Thank you for allowing us to pray. We prayed for them. We send them our blessing. The priest said, Antonia and David, let's all pray for them. So we were there praying for them.
And clapping.
We clapped, we cried. We really just missed going to the reception. But I feel like at that point we should have gone to the reception. We were sitting closer to them than their own family members, bitch. We were in the 3rd row, honey. We were in the VIP section.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had to share with you because it was just and I'm getting so many comments about it on my story. So I was like, girl, let me just do this video because I just think it was so funny. But yeah, any final thoughts?
No.
No?
No.
Anyways,
it was a wonderful time.
It was a wonderful time. We went to our first Mexican authentic wedding.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly, jokes aside, it was beautiful.
Yes.
I love learning about different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing how, you know, we're very of faith. The rosary. It was such a beautiful moment. They were kneeling down and they brought this very long rosary. They put it over each, you know, over them, and they, you know, that's when they got united. It was beautiful.
But they didn't kiss.
Oh yeah, they did not kiss.
And the priest didn't say, "Now I pronounce you husband and wife."
Yeah, he didn't do that either. But honestly, it was fabulous, and we were honored to have not been invited, but to crash, and God bless them, and I hope they have a fabulous wedding. But I hope Antonia honestly is okay, because she just looked really mad. I would honestly.
It's okay.
I would hate. Yeah, I know. I. You know what it is? I think she was mad that it was so disorganized.
Very.
People were walking in and out. The photographer kept like stumbling. You know, the baby's crying. You know, random people in the church. You know, because you guys, once we were seated, the wedding started. We couldn't get out. We could not. It would be super rude for us to get out. So I just thought it was hilarious.
No, we had a good time.
And you know what? It was beautiful. My first wedding was an authentic Mexican wedding here in Puerto Vallarta, and I couldn't be more grateful.
Amen.
So anyways, I love you all so much. God bless the happy couple. I hope Antonia right now is living it up with tequila and having fun. And, you know, if a wedding has a little drama, the marriage is going to be beautiful. Amen. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video, and I hope you enjoyed this little good night story, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.